that proof that was on that worksheet from yesterday. Did you guys do it? Some of you got on it, I saw. The proof is, I think, was it on the back side? Yeah, I just want to say something about that to all of you. A few of you, it's been said to. But this is one of those things that kind of we slipped past. But if we've got a reflection line, we call it R. So we're going to reflect something over the line of reflection. And you have a point that's here, and then the corresponding point after the reflection is over there. Do I have it drawn sort of okay? So if I did something like this here, and did this, would that be true? I mean, it reflects at a 90-degree angle. And then this distance here, if I called it D, is equal to that distance, D. Yeah. And I guess what we've been doing is we've been saying things like if that's M, that this is AM, and this is A prime M. And we can say that the measure of AM is equal to the measure of A prime M. Yeah, that's how that works when it reflects. What?
Sorry.
Was that you or your computer?
That was my computer.
Oh, okay.
It was professional in nature.
Oh, good. That's all right. I don't know how, this isn't so good. But I'm meaning for those two figures to be congruent. Is that expected?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So we can say, oops, that's a triangle. ABC is we say that, or do we say this? I'm not meaning it to be a trick question. Kind of goes either way though, doesn't it? Yeah, we're more used to seeing the second one, the congruent.
But with the second one, the first one's true.
But with the second one, the first one's true.
Yeah.
And with the first one, the second one's true.
Yeah.
Because this idea of if things are equal, they are congruent, and that's the definition of congruence.
What's the point of congruent then?
What's the point of saying they're congruent? That's a really good question. I don't know, I can answer that real well. Joan is saying I don't think you need to answer it. Right?
It's a good thing to be bugged by.
It's a good thing to be bugged by. It's like a really picky thing, isn't it? Like we're trying to do theorems and proofs and definitions so that we can relate to them a little bit easier. They could be done really technical and extremely formal. And if that was being done, there would be a lot of kind of intermediate steps to some of these theorems and the proofs and the things that we're saying are true. It'd be like every you know what word in the sentence would be picked apart and be defined with another sentence, and it just would be ad nauseum. It'd be like an entire book. And see, formal proofs in geometry are not really written like we do, line by line by line. Well, this is true because of, this is true because of. We're watering it down in a way, and we do in high school, and even in college, they do. But like if we were all hanging out with Euclid, however many thousand years ago, Euclid's proofs were written in paragraphs, almost like a scientific paper. It was, basically. And it wasn't just paragraphs, just pages and pages and pages for some of these very things that we're going bang, bang, bang in 5 lines. So,
what's the point of doing that?
precision and exactness. You know, it's the same idea as, why do we have a Supreme Court? They look at the really picky stuff. But Joan's gonna make it
I'm gonna
easier.
rescue you, okay, because it's just not worth that, this much.
It isn't worth that much, I'm sorry,
Discussion.
yeah, just tell me to shut up.
With figures, it's more appropriate to just say they're congruent. That's what you're gonna see more than anything. Things that are equal tend to be more like measurements than figures.
Mhm.
So this is a figure recommendation. This is more like an angle measurements and segment lengths and things like that. So don't write it like that.
Yeah,
Don't do this one.
So-
Do that one most of the time.
so the book, or the book in example number 2, I wanna say, and your worksheet on problem number 8, they go and set you up with kind of both of these steps. But we only need one of them. And so for example, for question number 8 on the back, it says reflection of A over M is equal to D, the reflection over M of B is equal to E, and then of C is equal to F. And the justification is that it's just given information. But then you go to the next step, number 2, and they say, well, now that we reflected this triangle, kind of like what I did here, we're gonna say that the reflection of this is equal to this. So in other words, I take that and I reflect it. Well, what did I do? I just transformed a figure into its reflection. And they use the equal sign, and then that equal sign goes and says, well, angles between this, let's see, ABCD theorem. Angles between this, collinearity, and distance are equal to one another. That's the figure transformation theorem, without adding a whole lot more sentences that I'm gonna get stopped, which is okay. So then, the third line on question number 8, the justification that the triangles are congruent. Well, of course they're congruent because they're equal to one another. On our own, if we do our own work on paper, I'm not gonna ask you to put 2 steps there. All you have to say there is that they're congruent figures. And so for question number 3, or part 3 of question 8, ABC is congruent to DEF because of definition of congruence. And then because you have 2 figures that are congruent, then you get that CPCF, congruent parts of congruent figures. And that's where you can take any angle and match it up to its corresponding angle or side or what have you. What did I say? Did I say congruent? Oh, corresponding parts of congruent figures. Yeah, the parts that correspond, that match up, will all be congruent. All the angles, all the side lengths, everything about those. So for question number 4, the conclusion is what you're trying to prove. Angle C is congruent to angle F. So there. So does that take you to a point where you can finish this thing out now? Finish out 5-5. Let's do that.
Great one, I thought you could. Oh, and 8-2? What was 8-2 then? You didn't know any of them? I thought 8-3 was definition of congruent.
Realize how disgusting that sounded.
That's what we got. Jaden now?
That is the funniest part.
For 1 or 2? One.
We don't know how long those. So. Good, good, good friend. Sure. Well, yes, we're trading garbage. We're trading. I don't, we're not garbage.
Did they make one shorter than the other?
No,
Because it is hard.
Alright, good. Alright.
What did you get? What is it? What is it from? You know, I just think when the person is putting really.
Yeah, that's the one.
Is that the last one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. All that information, where did that come from?
Oh, it's just given?
Yeah, every proof starts out with the given information. You gotta start somewhere.
The second one's
That kind of gives up.
I think so.
that makes sense.
Wow. Someone's already taken it. No, I am too. I don't want to.
Yeah, that'll change.
Not so sure about number two.
So it won't.
Vanish.
Unless somehow Madeline Klein is on the Dominican Republic.
Oh, so maybe she's transformation instead of reflection?
Yeah, I know, that's why I'm not doing it based on the picture.
Read it clearly. So they understand it, then you'll know why you're right.
Or can I show Seth your progression?
Yeah.
Like you intend. What do you intend? Oh, yeah. Seth. Yeah. Seth, you should. Like that.
Said I just brought somebody else with that.
And I can't play for a month. With a list.
I get this though. This is gonna come. No. I know I don't. I think have you done the drawing yet?
Yeah.
Oh. I'll be right. I don't know. I mean, they can all look different.
Our,
Yeah. Mine just looks. I just didn't leave. I just put random points. Oh, I see. Yeah.
No, it has power ID.
Oh.
ID. Do you understand?
Can I go?
Dude, believe it or not, I mean, I think
You guys all out of this?
I need to find my thing. What is it?
We need to focus.
Wait.
So did you come up with your stuff now, Art? All of your goods?
Yeah, that's my stuff.
Is this your book?
Yep.
Okay, what I gave you yesterday, did you show it back on that? Okay, so you're back to this is yours? Because I can play rights on this. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you're back.
Back to the
Not normal, no such thing.
Okay, Mr. Dagan, I have to go in 5 minutes.
Oh, you're getting checked out early.
Why?
Yeah, because of my mother.
I have to go. I have to go.
But, so,
Yeah, my mom's moved down from Sweden, and I really need to see her.
my, anyways, what, so you're gonna be posting YouTube videos on the left, right?
Yes. Posting right now, but I'm talking about 5'6".
No, she would fly, it's pretty much straight. I think they're a little lower or higher.
Joe, that was the dumbest dragon fight ever. I made my never race for
Are you talking about Minecraft?
Yeah, well, I never dragon last.
What?
Never, it was our month-long
It
world.
was a proud moment.
What happened? Did you die?
We didn't cheat once.
You did what?
We just cheat one time.
Really?
Yeah.
What did you do then?
We won.
Killed the other dragon.
You go, guys.
The answer sheet to that 5 word number, okay?
No, that's not. That's not what I did. Wait, I actually traded with you. That's not how trades work.
Oh, I thought. That's right, sit back down, Phoenix.
Good call.
Okay, so it's no talk about it.
5'7" real quick.
Thank you.
I think I am gonna try.
Oh, I did have a.
Literally at the bottom. It's called Green 30. There's one.
Oh, sure.
5'4".
I remember your show told basketball. Do you remember that? I remember that.
What? I said that
You're like, boom, 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 boom. It was like, oh. And you were like, you know, my regulations, don't do that to me, and I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
I almost.
You know, like, when you're like really short, like, it's too big to fit in the box.
When was this?
It's gonna love, but also like first grade or something.
it was for like 20 minutes. It's like,
You don't know, like, when you're using
black and white.
big,
It was like, it was like that small screen, and it was like 50 by 100 pixels. And there was just like, there were snake games, there was like spaceship games.
Is that readable?
Jumping games.
Can you see that? There's your world.
Boom, boom, boom.
Okay, well, I was right.
Boom, boom.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Show me.
for that guidance, I probably would have said. No, we have the ability to check our answers with these worksheets. We want you to know if you're doing things right, not just half of them. If we're gonna help, put it through our voices, okay?
It's the same thing as looking at
Okay, so you were cheating, sorry.
Okay.
That's pretty confident.
already.
I put that up there for a second. I didn't put it down. This is gonna go away for just a moment.
Almost exactly like it.
Are we doing that today?
Maybe.
Oh, page.
Here it comes.
I'm waiting to go, waiting for 7:40, then I'm going to the dinner. Wendy? Yeah. Wait, wait.
I'm not sure we're gonna have an issue.
I could do both. Or is this in front of the thing?
Once you've got more detail.
Yeah.
This weekend, we're gonna sit down.
Yeah.
Set up John there.
Where's the work for this?
Oh. Koa. Koa?
Yeah.
The test will come to you guys.
PDF. How do I print out a PDF?
You're working on another computer. I believe it's gonna be the 4 or 5.
All right.
And I believe that it's gonna be just over Thursday, there's like 3 questions.
I got the same here yesterday.
Or 4 and 1.
She was like, no.
The final's gonna be split.
All right.
I believe, because I think we're out for approval until it's just gonna allow flexibility.
Yeah.
Okay?
All right.
All right.
Well, have a good Christmas, Mr.
Yeah, you
Davis.
can do it. Happy New Year and all, we'll see you when you get back.
Yeah. See you in a month. Or
About that.
New Year's? This is Christmas. This is Christmas. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh. You mean Luke? I didn't know that. I thought you pointed to me.
I figured he knows too.
All right, Z. X to Z is that much. Okay. Oh, yeah. So what's true about those two lengths? They're the same, so you start out by saying that that is equal to this. And then you'll have an algebra, yeah, you have an algebra problem that you crunch out.
Okay.
That's why they say A is equal to, you gotta find out what A is, and then you go back and you figure out what X is.
Oh, okay.
So that's more of the same,
Yeah.
which you can expect to see on the chapter 4 test. Oh, 5, yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know why I think it's 4. Okay. So yeah, that's it, we're not gonna study 5 students.